Imagine the temperature is just above freezing. You are soaked to the bone in salt water. You haven't slept in 2 days, and you are surrounded by 60 other men who smell like wet wool, sweat, and death. There is no shelter. There is no toilet. And if you stop rowing, the man behind you will beat you senseless with the handle of his axe. Welcome to the North Sea. Welcome to the Drake, the dragon ship. For the next 24 hours, you are not a tourist. You are an oarsman on a Viking raid. Your goal isn't just to reach England. It's to keep your heart beating long enough to step off the boat. Can you survive the cold? The filth? The rage? Let's find out. Your nightmare begins at sunrise. You step onto the deck, and the first thing you notice isn't the glory of adventure. It's the smell. A Viking Longship is a marvel of engineering, sleek and fast. But for the crew, it is a floating prison cell. The ship is 30 meters long and only roughly 3 meters wide. There are no cabins, no below-deck quarters. You are assigned a small wooden chest to sit on. This is your seat, your storage, and your bed for the next 3 weeks. You are packed 2 men for every single meter of deck space. Shoulders rubbing, knees knocking. If the man next to you has a coughing fit, you feel it on your skin. If he has lice, and he definitely does, they are now your lice. Most people imagine Vikings as free wanderers, but on this ship, you have 0 personal autonomy. You are part of a machine. You can't stand up to stretch your legs because you might block the sightline of the steersman. You can't move to a different spot because the ship is perfectly balanced. If too many men move to the port side, the ship lists, takes on water, and you all drown. You are glued to this wooden box. This brings us to survival checkpoint 1, claustrophobia. If you are the kind of person who needs personal space, you have already failed. You are trapped in a wooden box with 60 killers, and there is nowhere to run. The wind has died down. That means the massive wool sail is useless. That means you are the engine. The oar in your hands is heavy, solid pine. It fights the water. Every pull sends a shock wave through your shoulders and lower back. By hour 6, the friction begins to peel the skin off your palms. You might have calluses from farm work, but this is different. This is repetitive stress on a scale your body isn't ready for. The blisters form, they fill with fluid, and then they pop. But here is the twist. You are in the North Sea. The spray from the ocean is pure salt water. Every time a wave hits the side, salty mist coats your open blisters. It stings like fire. It's a chemical burn that never stops because you never stop rowing. Your ass is numb from sitting on the hard wooden chest. Your inner thighs are chafing raw against wet wool trousers. This is known as saddle sores, but for sailors, raw, red flesh that bleeds from the constant friction of rowing. Do you stop? If you miss a stroke, your oar will clash with the man behind you, breaking the rhythm of the entire ship. The steersman at the back isn't known for his patience. In Viking culture, weakness isn't just pitied, it's a liability. If you stop rowing, you endanger the speed of the ship. You might get beaten, or worse, thrown overboard to lighten the load. Survival checkpoint 2. Pain tolerance. Look at your hands. If you can't keep pulling with bleeding palms, you die here. It's midday. You need calories to keep rowing. But don't expect a feast. The Viking diet at sea is designed for one thing: preservation. You are handed a piece of stockfish. This is cod that has been dried in the freezing wind until it has the consistency of tree bark. It has no moisture left in it. You have to smash it against the gunwale just to break off a piece. Then you chew and chew. It tastes like leather and salt. If your teeth are weak, they will snap. You are burning nearly 6,000 calories a day rowing, but you are replenishing it with dried fish and hardtack bread that is likely infested with weevils. To wash it down, sour whey or weak ale. Water goes bad too quickly at sea. It turns green with algae in the barrels. So you drink ale. It is thick, lukewarm, and slightly fermented. It doesn't quench your thirst. It just dulls the headache. But what goes in must come out. And this brings us to the most dangerous part of the journey. There are no bathrooms. If you need to urinate, you stand at the edge of the ship and hope a sudden wave doesn't toss you into the freezing ocean. Many Vikings died not in battle, but simply trying to relieve themselves and falling overboard in full armor. For anything else, there is the bucket. Imagine using a bucket while 60 other men watch you, judging you, while the ship pitches and rolls. You have no privacy. You have no toilet paper, maybe a mossy sponge on a stick if you're lucky, or just seawater. The smell of that bucket mixes with the bilge water, the unwashed bodies, and the rotting fish. Survival checkpoint. 3. The stomach test. The smell is vomit-inducing. If you throw up, you lose precious fluids and dehydration sets in. Can you hold down your lunch while sitting next to the waste bucket? The sun sets and the temperature plummets. You might think this is when you sleep. You are wrong. The open deck offers zero protection from the elements. You have a wool blanket that is already damp from the sea spray. Wool is great because it keeps you warm even when wet, but warm is relative. You are shivering. You lie down on the hard deck boards, curled up against a complete stranger for warmth. Vikings slept in two-man leather sleeping bags called hood fat. You crawl inside with your rowing partner. It's intimate, it's uncomfortable, but it is the only thing keeping you from freezing to death. As you drift off, you feel something crawling on your leg. Ships carry rats, and rats carry fleas. You feel them biting your ankles, but you're too cold to move your hands to scratch. And then, the water comes. A wave crashes over the side. You wake up gasping, freezing cold water soaking your clothes instantly. You can't just go back to sleep. You have to bail. Every man grabs a bucket. If the water level in the hull gets too high, the ship becomes sluggish and could capsize. So you spend your rest period scooping freezing water out of the bilge. Hypothermia is the silent killer here. If you stop shivering, it means your body is giving up. You have to keep moving, keep huddled, or you won't wake up for hour 19. Dawn breaks. The sky is gray and red. Land is visible in the distance. Green cliffs, the coast of Northumbria. But the hardest part isn't over. You are exhausted, starving, and half frozen. Now you have to fight. To prepare, you watch the man at the front of the boat, the Berserker. He is drinking a strange brew, perhaps infused with henbane or amanita mushrooms. He begins to howl like a wolf. He bites the rim of his wooden shield until his gums bleed. He is working himself into a trance where he feels no pain, only rage. This isn't just for show. This is psychological warfare. As you approach the shore, the entire crew starts banging their spears against their shields. The sound echoes across the water. You aren't just tired rowers anymore. You are a pack of wolves. The fear in the boat vanishes. It is replaced by adrenaline. You check your axe. The wood is slippery with sea spray. You tighten your grip until your knuckles turn white. You check your armor, maybe a simple leather jerkin, maybe a chainmail shirt if you're wealthy. But mostly, you rely on your shield. The ship grinds onto the beach. This is it. Hour 24. You vault over the side, plunging into the icy surf. The shock of the cold water hits your chest. Your legs are stiff from days of sitting, but you force them to run. The sand sucks at your boots. Arrows might be flying from the tree line. You have to sprint through the water, shield up, screaming to intimidate the villagers gathering on the dunes. So, did you survive? If you couldn't handle the claustrophobia of 60 men in a box, you failed. If your hands blistered and you stopped rowing, you failed. If the smell of the bucket made you vomit and dehydrate, you failed. And if you froze to death in your wet wool blanket during the night, you never even saw the shore. But if you made it this far, congratulations, you survived the Longship. Now the real battle begins. And survival doesn't always mean freedom. Subscribe for your next deep dive.